Hey guys, welcome into another episode of the Cozy Place Podcast. I'm your host, Brittany Banks, licensed mental health therapist and relationship coach. If you're new here, welcome. Cozy Place is a safe environment where we have conversations about real life, just essentially discussing faith, building healthy relationships, healing, personal growth, all things of that sort. And today, of course, we have a guest. So our guest for today, she is a registered nurse serving the Dallas-Fort Worth area and the founder of Beyond Bedside Nursing, a platform dedicated to promoting health, wellness, and purpose beyond traditional healthcare settings. Her journey is one of faith, healing, and transformation. After experiencing loss, trauma, and emotional struggles, she surrendered her life to God and found restoration, purpose, and clarity through faith. Today, she uses her testimony, nursing background, and a growing platform to encourage others through conversations centered on healing, wellness, faith, and personal growth. Please join me in welcoming Tiara Washington. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you, Tiara?
I'm doing well.
You have a bright smile. You're just like...
I do.
Is that a nervous smile or is it just
No, I always smile.
Okay. You know what? Smiling is good. I think
good.
more people should smile.
Yeah. I used to hate my smile, actually.
Really? Why?
I really did. Trauma.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely did. And I realized that is a gift. And I brighten the room when I do smile, and I can shift an entire room with my smile.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I love it. Keep smiling, girl.
Okay.
I love that. I love that so much. So, okay. I normally start with everybody, like, just give me the back. Like, how did you get here? Like, what is that?
Okay, so I have to put it back to scripture.
Okay.
You know how the word of God says, train up a child in the way that they should go?
Mm-hmm.
And I was not raised in the church.
Okay.
It was a little here, a little there.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents were very unstable. So I did a lot of moving.
Okay.
And my dad is a PK kid.
Okay.
And definitely rebellious. And so when he raised me, he did not raise me in the faith. And so something happened when I had to go live with my grandma for about 3 years. And I moved from Georgia to Indiana. And she was definitely faithful in the church.
Okay.
And so I was in the choir, praise team. We did the praise dancers, all the things for 3 years, right? And that was the most stable that I had faith, and just understanding who God was. And I would say that at that time, I really wanted a relationship with the Lord. Then when I moved back with my dad, I think this was like 7th grade year, back in just chaos and just instability and all the things. And so I moved to Texas at 15, 16. And I wanted to grow up. I wanted to hurry up and just leave. Like I was living with my aunt and my mom. I wanted to just get out. And I went and did my own thing, right?
Okay.
And was very, spiraling. I did get in church, which at that point it was I think it was considered like a Kojic.
Okay.
And very strict.
Okay.
And I was married, and I just felt like this is not it. Like, if this is what God is about, like, I don't want him type of thing, right? And so I divorced my ex-husband. I had 2 children at this point.
How old were you at this point?
Was I 21? 21, 22?
Okay, slow down.
Oh, yeah, I fast forward.
You like...
I just gave you the fast version.
Which is fine.
Okay.
Okay, so when you were in Georgia, you grew up in Georgia?
Yes.
I'm from Georgia.
Half
so
and
what
half.
part?
Alpharetta.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, you were up north.
Yeah.
We're south, like Stockbridge,
okay.
Henry County area. Okay. So you were just with your dad? I mean, I'm assuming your parents split.
Yes. So I was born in Texas. I stayed here for a few months. Went to Jamaica. A few months.
Hold on. How did Jamaica come from?
My mom.
Okay.
My mom is Jamaican.
Okay.
They were in, and I don't think my mom would mind me sharing it, but she was fleeing from abuse. My dad was very abusive. And so she felt like the only way to get away from my dad was to send me overseas and for her to be able to kind of shift out of the relationship.
Yeah.
So I was there from a few months, so about 7. And then, I started school in Jamaica and all. And
you just get past all of that. Like, how was that? What was that experience like?
Man, loving.
Okay.
So my grandmother, we still have the family home down there.
Okay.
They were Catholic down there. I don't remember that part. But cousins would be there, aunts would be there, like very loving, very just family dynamic. Very loving space. I would say that my first years were full of love and joy and family dinners and, you know, all my cousins growing up together, all the things, you know, what you would imagine family to be like. I mean, fighting, fussing, all the things.
Yeah.
We didn't have a lot, but we had each other.
Yeah.
So we definitely understood what love was. That's one thing I would say. All of the cousins that came, like that were brought up in Jamaica, we had a foundation of love. Now, where we're at now, life okay. But the foundation was definitely in love.
Okay.
And I would say that my grandma had a big part in raising 9 children. So imagine how many grandchildren.
9?
And great-grandchildren at this point.
Did you say 9?
9. I think we even have great-great-grandchildren at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 9 children. And yeah.
Came back to the States at 7.
At 7 with my dad.
That's a switch in culture in school.
So different.
What was that adjustment like for you?
I remember getting picked on a lot because of the accent, right? And I really wish that I would have, first of all, if my dad was stable in who he was, like if he knew who he was, he would have helped cultivate me to be strong in who I was.
Yeah.
Right? But he was from Gary, Indiana.
Okay.
Moved to Alpharetta. I don't know if you know anything about Alpharetta.
A little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Completely different than Gary.
Very.
And he did not raise me to the background of where I come from. So I'm going from a impoverished area in Jamaica to a wealthy area, and you're not helping me navigate through that space, right? Yeah. So I joke around with my bonus mom. She helped raise me.
Okay.
Me and my sister had a conversation with her a few years ago that said, y'all didn't raise us to know that we were Black. Ooh. And she was like, what does that even mean? I'm like, you didn't. We are young Black women in America that did not get raised in a space of knowing that we were Black women in America. And she also is Jamaican.
Okay. So what do you mean by that specifically? Because obviously somebody will hear that and be like, what do you mean? Look in the mirror, right?
Yeah.
So what do you mean?
Okay, so if I am a young Black woman being raised by a white neighborhood, white individuals, right? The culture is different. The things that they can do is different. What they get away with, I cannot get away with. The things that they can say, I cannot say.
True.
How they wear their hair. Okay, for instance, there was one day I thought it was so cute when my friends would go to school, fresh washed hair, and just let it air dry. Yeah. So I tried it.
We can do that. Just look a little different. Look a little different. Just a little different.
We had to detangle. We had to moisturize.
It's a little different. You got to do some extra
We had to twist it the night before. Okay, let it dry a little bit.
So they didn't see. There was no input of like.
There was no.
See how you get some product.
You know what's so beautiful though is that my bonus mom always kept my hair done, like in braids, right? But then you become a teenager, you want to do your own thing.
Yeah.
So you want to style your own hair, right? And I remember one time washing my hair before school and just going to school. No, absolutely not.
What was that day like? I'm sure the kids were like,
wanted to touch your hair.
What's going on?
No. You know what's so funny? My daughter had this experience on accident a few years ago. They wanted to touch it and they thought it was beautiful. And they thought it was beautiful. But I'm like,
you felt like you looked a mess.
I looked a mess. Okay. And looking back, I'm kind of wondering, like, did y'all say that just to say it? Because I just had this experience not too long ago. I went to the store and I needed to try on this outfit. But I didn't have another sister there to give me feedback, right? So these young girls come in, and they are young white girls. And I said, hey, tell me the truth. What does this look like? And they were like, oh, it looks fine. It looks great. And I immediately put it back.
Okay.
Because I was like, no, that's not the response.
What if it looked fine?
It didn't.
Okay.
Because the thing that I was looking forward to hearing, like, okay, did it make me look too wide? Because, you know, certain things we have to be mindful of, right? And so,
okay.
Me and you having that conversation would have been different.
Okay, fair. So you grow up in this space where you're essentially trying to figure out identity too,
right?
And how to belong. What points were pivotal or stood out to you in your upbringing that kind of maybe shaped you in a good or a bad way?
You want to know what's wild is that I don't think I had a real revelation until I met my now husband at about 22.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was things that I would say, and I can't remember exactly what, But he would just kind of look at me like, you don't think anything is wrong with that? And I'm like, no, I don't. And I had to unlearn that way of thinking. Proximity is important, right? And so if all you are used to seeing is this, then you think that is okay, right? And so and that's what I love about now, me and my husband try to allow our children to see different things, different ways of life, all the things, because not every standpoint is the right one.
Yeah.
And there's multiple viewpoints in a thing, right? And so how I was raised, how my husband was raised, how you were raised, if we all sit together as a collective, we might have different perspectives, right? And it's not to say you're wrong, I'm wrong. It's just, that's the perspective.
That's the importance of community. I think a lot of people get stuck in their own bubbles.
Yes.
And then that's how they end up closed-minded and having these rigid viewpoints and practices, the way they live life, not even realizing what portions are dysfunctional.
Yes. I thought a lot of dysfunction was healthy.
Oh. Give me examples. What was it?
Screaming and yelling at your kids.
Okay.
I thought that's normal. Like, wake you up and cuss you out. Like, what do you mean?
Wow.
Come on, let's go.
Okay.
Right? I thought that was normal.
So you thought everybody was just waking their kids up like that?
I thought everybody was getting beat on, slapped up beside their head, cussed out.
You never mentioned or talked to, or joked even about these things with your white counterparts at school? Oh, you just assumed it was happening.
That's just what's happening
in the house. Because I've met people where they say something out loud in a group of people and folks are like, wait, are you okay?
Actually, no, that did actually happen. That did happen in 8th grade. My dad was in this rage and he busted my kneecap.
Oh my gosh.
And I had to sit out of school for like 3 days. And so when I went back to school, this actually was with a young guy from New York. He was Black. And we were talking. He was like, why were you out of school? And I was like, my dad, like, we essentially like got in a fight. I don't remember how I said it.
Yeah.
But he busted my kneecap. And he looked at me and was like, girl, bye. That's not what he said, but he pretty much was like, girl, bye.
Like he didn't believe it. Like,
you wouldn't be walking around like if your dad did that. And then like I just moved on. Like we just went about our business.
Wow.
Right. And like back then, I mean, I'm not like old. I'm 33, but like back then, okay.
Back in the day.
You didn't have like welfare calls and visits. Like my children miss a day of school. They are blowing me up. Where are they at? What's going on? Right. I don't, if they did, I don't remember anyone doing like a welfare check.
Not in the 90s. Definitely remember like skipping school.
Yeah, definitely.
And being able to answer the phone and
act like me,
right? And nothing happened.
Yeah.
Nobody knew.
It was different. It was different.
Yeah.
It was different.
Okay.
And then even so what ended up making me come to Texas was, I think I was about 15 at this point, and I went to a girlfriend's house. This was Thanksgiving. I'll never forget this. My dad, whooped me so bad. I had marks, everything, like bleeding, all the things, right? And it was Thanksgiving. We spent Thanksgiving. And then the next day he was like, if you want to, you can go over to your friend's house. Like almost like nothing happened type of thing. Like we didn't talk about the things that happened.
Yeah.
It was never an apology or never a sit down. It was just like, oh, you want to go shopping or you want to go back over your friends or whatever. So I remember going over my friend Dre and Linda's house.
Okay.
And I took a shower and, girlfriends, you're getting dressed in front of them and they looked at my bag and they were like, what happened? And I told them. And that's what started the whole thing. Her mom reached out to the school and a lot of people did not believe me. And I tell this to my dad all the time. To my husband all the time, that the social workers that looked like me did not believe me. But the social workers that did not look like me are the ones that fought to have something be done. So that's what kind of it messed my brain a little bit in way of thinking like, can I trust my own? Because they didn't even believe me. They thought that I was just a spoiled brat who wasn't getting her way because my dad he definitely knew how to talk to his own. He definitely knew how to talk to his own.
He was manipulating the situation.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So I heard you say that your father was abusive to your mother. Clearly, he was abusive to you as well.
Like, and my bonus mama.
Was that everyday occurrence?
I found out closer to him passing. Today is actually the year 3. My aunt texted me this morning and she said, what day did your dad pass? And I looked and I was like, today, 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? But God makes no mistakes.
No.
about a year before he passed away, we were having a conversation, and he said, a lot of that I don't remember. He said, I was doing heavy drugs back then. So he's on cocaine. And he would have rages. Because when he was like normal, he was the sweetest guy. I could not understand that. It was like two completely different people.
So you never even saw him you didn't know he was on drugs until then.
Mm-hmm. There was no. I knew he was on drugs once, but I thought it was a situation where he was selling drugs.
Okay.
And I remember being at one of his friends' house with their friends, and he came in like just tripping, like sweating profusely, doing like these weird stances and poses, super like paranoid. His friends were like, you can't leave her. Like, you can't take her. Like, leave her here. He's like, no, he's paranoid, thinking everybody was tripping. He told me the story was that the police were coming. And so he had to swallow the drugs that he had.
Oh.
So when I say traumatic, like some of these things I haven't even shared with people, but very traumatic situations. And I remember my dad, he called the police on himself. This isn't funny. It's not funny. But he called the police on himself, but that's what saved him. Because they didn't know that I was there, and he kept screaming my name. And I woke up, and I remember going and like telling them what I remember seeing. And he said that if I did not tell them that, he probably would have died because they had to pump his stomach.
Wow.
And so everything happens for a reason. It's wild, the things that happens, but everything happens for a reason. And he always tells people like, you saved my life more than once. So yeah. I think that's the reason he was so possessive of me.
Did you know each time that you did, or you had no clue until later?
I don't think that I really realized until I became an adult. So my dad had a heart attack. After he had whooped me one time, he had a heart attack, and he was like on the ground, like collapsed. And I don't know if he told me to go get the medication or whatever the case might be. I knew what to go get for him, call the ambulance, all the things. And that was another time.
Wow.
And so when I think about even being a nurse, it's like God literally was leading me along the way, but not just nursing, like counseling, like helping people through dark spaces, right? Because I was going through dark spaces, but I didn't realize I was helping my dad through it as well, right? And so it's a weird space to be in where you understand what they're going through, but then having to realize, okay, those are your spaces, and I can't put myself there with you. Like, you have to do the work, right? And so I don't know where you want to go from there, but I went through a space where when I moved here, because it was court ordered after my friend's mom reached out. Like,
so they got involved, and he lost custody, essentially.
Yeah, but it was months. It was months. It was months of going through that. Because I moved here around spring break, and I think this happened in November the year prior.
Okay. Okay. When we started, you said your smile. When did that fade?
My smile?
Yeah, like, because you said it was trauma that made you stop smiling. So what was it about that environment that robbed you of that?
I feel like there was no peace. There's no joy. And life just sucked.
Okay.
Yeah. And I remember, man, I must have been 8th grade at this point.
Yeah.
Attempting suicide. Because I just felt like, if this is life, as loving and as caring and as much as I want to see the rainbows and the sunshine and all the things, if this is life, I don't want to be here.
What stopped you?
You know what's wild is I tell people the story that, so I believe it had to be God, because I remember wrapping a cord around my neck, man, and hanging it on like the rods that we had in our shower. And I don't remember how being on the floor, but I woke up on the floor. And I tell people, I'm like, man, it had to have been an angel. I can't explain it. I don't know how I ended up on the floor, but I just woke up with just the marks on my neck. I don't think my dad ever knew. I think I told my sister, and she was like, I did not know you were dealing with. I said, life was heavy.
Yeah.
And I remember when I moved to Indiana, that was a relaxing space. But I think that because of all the things I was dealing with, love felt foreign to me.
Yeah.
So being around my aunt and my grandmother on my dad's side, like being around all that felt fake. It felt like they didn't care. Right. And so I remember going to my grandma's, and I don't remember what happened, but I remember going to my grandma's closet and she was on medications, and everything that I could find, I just took it. And nothing happened. I just had gas. Like, so I don't know.
Thank God.
I don't know what meds I took, but
you needed help.
It didn't. Yeah. So, those were the 2 attempts that I had. I never attempted suicide as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
I think because, and I tell people all the time that my children were my saving grace, right? So I got pregnant at 17, married by 18, first child by 18, second child by 19, divorced by 20, 21.
Mm-hmm.
But when I had my son, like when I heard his heartbeat, I just knew I had to get my life together. I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know what that meant, but I just knew that I was not a baby anymore. Right. And I also felt like, okay, finally someone to love and someone to love me back.
Yeah.
Right. And so, man, they're 15 and 14 now.
Okay.
And we grew up together. Right. So you see us, you would not think we were mother and son.
You get mistaken for sister all the time.
All the time.
Have a useful appearance.
All the time. Yeah. And until they make me mad, then okay, that's mine. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, I had to grow up really fast. My whole life I had to grow up really fast.
Yeah.
Right. So parenting, I think, came second nature. Because I raised my siblings. Yeah. Right. And
how many siblings do you have?
My dad, I was raised with 2.
Okay.
But then when I became an adult, I realized I had 2 other ones.
Oh. So I know that story.
So 4 from my dad.
Bahamian.
Yeah. And then 2 from my mom. And I'm the oldest. So, yeah.
Okay. So you get to Texas. What does starting over feel like at 15? Did you feel safe finally?
Oh, no.
Oh,
no.
What did
I moved here at 15. And my mom and I did not have a relationship. I remember living with her for a short time at around 9.
Yeah.
And that space was very traumatic. We were in and out of shelters. Tell me where you want to go.
No. I would say that first and I'll ask after. Go ahead.
Okay. We were in and out of shelters when I lived with my mom about 9.
Yeah.
And so moving back here at 15 with her and my aunt, I didn't know what that was going to look like. And my mom was also in a space mentally. She was diagnosed with mental illness, schizophrenia and bipolar. So I didn't know what that would look like. Okay. I remember my mom just being very robotic, slept a lot, go to work, slept a lot, go to work. I remember getting a car at 16, and then I was responsible for a lot of more things. So whenever I did have freedom to go hang out, I didn't want to hang out with friends. I want to hang out with my boyfriend, who ended up being my children's father, all the things. And I wanted to hurry up and graduate.
So you were in a space of raising yourself once you got here.
Yeah. I got a job. I got my own. Yeah.
Were you ever angry at your mother for leaving you with her father?
Oh, yeah. I told her I hated her. I remember, I think I was 18. Yeah, I remember I was 18. And we had a conversation. We actually fought because I told her, I said, I could never understand because I had children young. And so I could never understand you just walking away from your responsibility, regardless of where you were at. I honestly could never understand. And her response to that, years later, because we had the conversation again in a more healthy space.
Yeah.
And she said, I just never thought he would do that to you. And I understood that because I get that. You could see him being abusive to another woman, but not his child. Surely not his child.
So he never did it in front of her then?
No, they were never together.
So he had custody from you from the beginning.
You know what's wild though? They never did a custody thing. Never did a custody thing.
Wow.
My mother was a foreigner. And so the laws, and she knows that, she understands it now. But to fight him for custody, what does that mean?
Yeah.
I had his last name.
Yeah.
He had the paperwork.
Mhm.
Well, there is no fighting for custody.
Okay.
Like, he wants you, then I want you. Whoever wants her, just take her.
Okay. So you get here, you're raising yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That comes with its own chaos because, I mean, what teenager knows what they need to be doing, right?
Yeah. But with a very strict aunt.
Yeah. Okay. And so you hurry up, you try to get out. Was school easy for you? Was it reprieve?
It was easy because in Georgia, it was a lot more advanced than here. And I don't say that to be funny, but when I moved here, essentially in Georgia, I was a sophomore. But when I moved here, I was a junior.
Oh, wow.
So they're like, you can either do half a day or you can graduate early. I was like, sign me up for graduating early, please.
You were the second person to tell me that.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know that.
Texas wastes a lot of time on Texas history. They don't require like certain maths. Like, it's wild.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
honestly, everyone who has children in Texas school district, I recommend that you educate your child at home. And because you're teaching Texas history, but what about the rest of history?
Right. World history, United States history, any of that. Okay. Got you.
No.
I got you. You don't even have to explain. That makes a lot of sense, actually. So you have your child, you get married. What was the marriage like that young? Because I know you in hindsight, you didn't know what.
I was a single mother.
Okay.
That was married.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was that relationship like?
Manipulative. Yeah. I was in church, and the church that we were in at the time did not believe in divorce and remarriage. Oh, and he ran with that.
Okay.
So he would go and do him for months at a time and then come back. And we would get, back together. He would get a job, he'd get a car, and then he's feeling himself again, right? And so then he would go. And at some point in my brain, right, when people say like my man, what is it, wasn't developed yet.
Yeah.
I think something just clicked. And I was like, this is like, if that's what made me turn away from God. Because I was like, if this is what God wants for me and he does not believe in divorce and remarriage and whatever, I guess to hell I go, because this is just not life.
So I grew up non-denominational.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what it was like in the Kojic church. Because I hear people, I hear this all the time, but I'm like.
And I think that they wouldn't consider themselves Kojic. They said holiness, right? And so they would say that it's everything in the Bible, right? But with no context, right? With no study yourself to show yourself approved, right? With no deep diving to see what were they actually talking about in these churches, what was going on in this culture, what was happening, right? So no cutting your hair, no makeup, no jewelry, no skirts, no divorce and remarriage. Women can't preach. And baby, I'm a minister and baby, God uses me. Okay. So all the things that was very strict and very, I would say,
legalistic.
Yes. And bound. And that is not what Jesus came to do. Like, no, I think a lot of people forget that you have to read. I'm actually taking a course right now on how to properly study the Bible. Theology, intro to theology one. And when you are reading the Bible, it is essential for you to consider culture, time, who was the writer talking to? Yes.
What was this translation conveying?
They bypassed that.
All these things. People will take a scripture and then run with it as a law. And it's dangerous because it's misrepresenting the message it was meant to send. And some things were only applicable for that time because of what was culturally based, right? Prime example, you could take modern day times. Culturally speaking, the U.S. was a different place 50, 60 years ago. There were certain things that you just didn't do. You minded yourself about. Today, that's not applicable because things have shifted. They've changed. We've had, education and law changes and all these things. So I'm glad that you mentioned that because a lot of people don't think about that. And there's probably, I know there are a lot of people who are still stuck in that situation, a scenario thinking that serving God is just all suffering. And So you had this point where you were just like, I'm going to go to hell.
I'm
I'm out.
I had to live my life.
Okay. So what was that part like?
The night that I had this revelation.
Yeah.
I packed all that man's clothes.
Okay.
Threw it in the trash.
In the trash. Why are you packing if you're throwing it in the trash?
I don't know.
Why are you doing double work? Okay.
I think I packed it in a trash bag.
Okay.
Threw it in the trash. I called maintenance. I told them to come change my locks.
Okay.
And I was done. And I was like, I don't know what this looks like for me, but I'm done. I enrolled in school. And I just was like, I want more. All the dreams that I had as a child, I want that.
Okay.
I didn't know what that looked like because as a child, I didn't want kids. I didn't want to be married, right? I wanted to be an interior decorator living in New York in a penthouse with a cute little dog.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm not in New York. I'm in Texas. I got 2 kids.
I don't have no dog.
I don't have anything with interior designing.
Okay. It's a little different.
So what does life look like for me now? Right. And I just knew I had this moment where I just knew that I was worthy of more. I didn't know what that looked like, but I was going to I've suffered and I've been fine. So surely I'll be fine.
Okay.
Right. And I think in my brain, I finally, something clicked that it's like, I've been raising these kids by myself. I've been on my own since 17. Girl.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna be okay. You've, now looking back, it's like God has always graced and blessed me with really great jobs. I mean, like my resume could say, I picked up dog poop and now y'all want to hire me for something even better. I remember even working out. I got nostalgia driving through here because I saw GM Financial. And I remember being hired for a specific position. Yeah. And then the day of us starting, they were like, actually, it was like 4 or 5 people. They were like, we want you for this special project. And that's always been my story, right? I was never the rule. I was the exception. Favor. And for whatever favor, right? And I didn't know that that's where God was shifting me to understand that. Now there was a journey, even with that, but something clicked. At some point, the light bulb just kind of went off. And I was like, I don't want this for myself. And I met my husband, like, I think a couple days after that.
You met your now husband a couple days after putting your ex-husband out?
I want to say it was a couple days either before or after, but it was right in that, in that frame. It was right around that time frame.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Where
it wasn't.
Did you meet him?
Lord, this is not a story that I tell a lot. I met my husband through his son's mother.
Okay.
Yeah. I met him because when I was going through school, I said that I wanted to buy a computer, right? And she was like, I know somebody who can get you my kid's dad. Like, okay, cool. And that's how we met. And we originally, it was like, hey, I need to buy this computer for school. And he always tells me like, no, when I met you, you weren't going nowhere. Like you weren't going anywhere. And I was like, okay, but I know your child's mom. And he's like, I literally don't care. And for me, I felt like that was kind of weird.
Were they together at the time?
No, they were like the son. At the time, I think they were together when they had their son, like maybe a couple months.
Okay.
And then like life moved on.
Yeah.
But to me, I thought that was weird that I met you through. I thought that was just weird. Right.
Okay.
And
were y'all friends? You and the mom?
I thought we were. I thought we were. And I think that's what made it easier for me to say, okay, because we weren't.
Okay.
Because we weren't. And
so I was like, if y'all weren't friends, and y'all,
I really honestly thought that we were friends.
Okay.
I thought that but then I heard her, how she talked about me. And then something clicked in my brain that was like, oh, you don't know who you playing with. No, I'm not proud of that moment.
Actually, hold on. Let's talk about this.
Oh, girl, I was not expecting us to really talk.
I know. I'm gonna say why, because a lot of people will see the healing journey and they see the after.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you're so sweet, you're so kind, you're so this, you're so that. There was another side.
Yeah.
Right? And
listen,
I grew up in an abusive home as well. My father was abusive. And that creates an aggression and a toughness and just this, I'll even call it just a masculine, rough energy in women.
Yeah.
To where it could go either way. It could go either way. So, and it's out of defensive nature from having to like survive.
Yeah.
So what did that look like for you? Like, in terms of, where was the point of just like, I'm sick of being a punching bag, ain't nobody gonna mess with me anymore? Like, what was that, and how did it show up in who you were?
It was that period. It was me being like sick and tired of the cycle with my ex. And then the situation that kind of happened with my husband's child's mom.
Yeah.
And then a girlfriend that I thought I was close with.
Okay.
Her being weird. And I was like, oh, y'all about to unleash a person I didn't even know existed.
Okay.
And she came out and folks was like,
whoa,
can she go back? Where she came from? No, she's here.
Were you a fighter?
I was cussing out everybody. I was fighting. And honestly, let me gear back, because a little bit of it kind of came out when I was pregnant with my son, my second son. And my ex-husband, I don't remember. I know I was showing, but I was petite.
Yeah.
So I could have been anywhere from like almost about to deliver to 6 months, like 6 months almost. And he was telling the girl that he was with, because he was a cheater, that I was lying about being pregnant and he wasn't his child. And I think that probably was when it started.
Snapped.
And what do you mean? Because what you trying to imply, right? And so I remember being 7 months pregnant and pulling up to the apartments, and they were at the pool, and I was about to fight, and I did not care.
He was boldly at the pool where y'all live, chilling with his side, like it's fine.
Yeah. And to be honest and to be fair, right? I think if all parties were to sit down in our adult ages, because we were in our 20s, we all would be very much embarrassed to have this conversation, right? I wouldn't be embarrassed. Hopefully.
Because everybody don't grow up.
This is also true, because I haven't talked to this man in years, so I don't know where mentally he is.
Okay. So goodness gracious.
Yes.
Well, all right, you meet your husband. Y'all, how long were y'all friends for?
We were friends. I thought we were friends for months.
Okay.
And I remember hanging out with him one time with one of his friends. Like, they were having like a pool session. They went to just shoot pool. And he introduced me as his girlfriend. And I was like,
when that happened?
And he kind of looked at me and I was like,
well, you didn't say no.
I didn't say no. I really liked him. And he was not my type, but he was so sweet. And I love the fact that we could talk literally all night. And it wasn't like what's your favorite color? No. Like deep life conversations. Yeah. Like, I had never met someone who could match the way that I think in a space of like life goals and business ideas and travel and food, like all the things.
Yeah.
And so he was a safe place.
Yeah.
Still need healing, both of us, but a safe place nonetheless.
Okay. So how long did y'all date before you got married?
He proposed to me that December, so about a year.
Okay.
Christmas. And then we were supposed to get married July 10th. And I was so over people having an opinion of what they wanted to wear, what they didn't want to do for the wedding, all the things, that I was like, I think the night before we got married, I said, you're off tomorrow, you want to go get married? And he was like, yep, let's do it. Bet. So he went to Burlington. I think I went to Ross, found a little dress. We went down to the courthouse, text whoever wanted to show up. I think it was my best friend at the time.
Yeah.
She was my first friend when I moved to Texas. And his high school or elementary friend, his brother, and another friend.
Okay.
And one of his friends came with a Domino's uniform. That's what he was wearing at the time. My homegirl came with jeans and just, and it was a very laid back, it was us.
Yeah.
It was us. And we had a dinner that Friday. Some showed up, some didn't. My family, listen, my Jamaican side, they was there.
Okay.
And they loved him.
Was your mom there too?
My mom was there.
Okay.
As his dad was there. My aunts were there. My uncles came. Some cousins came. It was a special night.
When I want to pivot slightly. So when you left home, did you maintain a relationship with your mom, or was that just back and forth?
I tried to, but she made a lot of excuses for my aunt. And my aunt kind of reminded me of my dad. And so and then she also did not make decisions that helped our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember when I was having my son, she said that she was coming, but she had to leave because my aunt needed her to go pick up the kids from school. And I'm like, your daughter is having her child.
Okay.
So things like that. Just things like that. And I just was...
Do you look back now knowing the extent of what her mental illness and struggles were?
Yeah.
And kind of rationalize, like, there was no way she was going to be able to piece emotional logic or intelligence in certain situations?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
When you left Georgia, was it a full cutoff from Dad, or?
The court ordered I couldn't talk to him until my 18th birthday.
Okay. Did you?
I reached out to him right before I left. I tried to. Because that was scary.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I knew that, at this point, I knew that how I was being raised wasn't right. Like, that's still my dad.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't talk to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because he felt like it was your fault, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. He told my siblings that.
Oh.
Yeah.
So when did he start talking to you? Or you start talking to him?
I don't remember how it happened exactly, but I remember when I was, when I had my son, we started trying to communicate with each other, but in a very manipulative space, because he was like, you should go to the military. And if you go to the military, then I'll take care of Michael while you go to the military. And something about, at first I almost did it, but then something about leaving my kid just didn't sit right with me. Yeah. I felt like it was just going to be a repeated cycle.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. So what was the moment where you're like, I need to heal. I need to get this together? Like, what did that look like for you?
I think when I had a moment where I was whooping my son and I was so enraged, like I blacked out. And when I went to draw the belt down, like it whelped his eye. And thankfully the class that he was in, the teacher, she had to report it, but she knew me and she knew me and she knew that wasn't my character. And so she spoke to them, like the school and to CPS, all the things. And I was like, I don't want to be him. I just remember saying, like, I don't want to be him. And yeah, I started therapy. I didn't finish therapy.
Why didn't you finish?
We were going into another space.
Okay.
And I started getting really angry. And I was like, I'm out.
Are you okay to share what the space was that sent you running?
Yeah. She was tying together my dad and me and how the history was kind of repeating itself.
Yeah.
And absolutely no, it wasn't. What do you mean?
Do you see it now?
I'm a victim.
Do you see it now?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I see it now.
A lot of people run from that. When you realize that you have absorbed some of the behaviors of the people that hurt you or that did you wrong, that's when true healing can begin. If you refuse to acknowledge it.
Yeah, I refused. And actually, I remember, I think it was in the same week I called my dad and went off on him. Because it was all his fault.
Okay.
And I think I cussed him out. I think I said everything. I even told him a few times, like, shut up. Like, don't talk while I'm talking. Like, I felt like I was finally, and he did. He just let me do it. Wow. And I remember him saying in the conversation, you're going to miss me when I die. And I was like, no, I'm not. How could I? Why would I? And he was right. So I think that was, I can't remember the exact year. I know I had my daughter and, so my daughter's 7 now. So about 3, when she was 3, we started talking more. So that was like 3 years later.
Okay.
I started understanding him more. Then a year later, he passed. But the good thing is that I was in church. And that's God's grace. Because I was in church and that helped with the grief.
Yeah.
But still almost like, man, but God, we were just we were just getting there. I was just feeling safe. But then I realized I wouldn't have been able to talk like this.
Mm-hmm.
I would have wanted to keep it together because I didn't want to portray him in a certain space.
Yeah.
Whereas with my mom, I can talk about things and my mom was like, that's your story. That's your journey. Yeah. And she always tells me like, I wish I was brave like you to talk. My aunt tells me that too. She's like, I wish I was brave like you to talk. And I was like, well, I don't, if I can help someone with my stories, with the things I've went through, and it's helping me as I talk through it.
Yeah.
Right? Who am I to hold that to myself?
Yeah.
Right? And it lets someone else know, like, that's not the end for you.
Yes.
We've got to keep going.
That is the whole premise of this podcast. Yes. I want people to see this in real people and understand that doesn't have to be your end.
Yeah.
Like, healing can be scary, that journey of like, what does it even look like? What does it even mean?
Yeah.
But if you're brave enough to take those steps and find the resources, it's life-changing.
Yeah. I recently started back therapy.
Yeah. So how long did you take a break?
Ooh. 4 years?
4 years, okay.
Probably a little longer.
Okay.
Probably 5, 6 years, actually. I can't remember. I think it was about 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you ready to go over those layers now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I am. I'm ready just to see, like, I'm seeing a glimpse of who God created me to be.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to see all of who God has created me to be.
Okay.
Like, and I know, and I'm not saying that in a space where I don't think the conversations are going to be hard, but I'm in a better mental space where I'm emotionally intelligent to have those hard conversations.
Yeah.
And also to be transparent and not try to just say, oh, no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm fine.
That's important. Y'all can't get anywhere if you're lying in therapy. Tell the truth.
Listen, the first day we were talking, I think she had to like pause me a few times because I was just like,
yeah,
girl, this is where we at. Fix me. Like, not saying that she's going to fix me, but like, you know, these are all the things. Help me navigate through these spaces.
I tell my clients this because everybody does it. At least in America, it's normal. When you say, how you doing? I'm fine. Yeah. It's like people regurgitate it. It's almost programmed in us. So when my clients first start working with me, I'm like, okay, now how are you really? Yeah. and they start pausing. They're like, yeah, I did just say that and didn't think about it. Yeah. Think of pause. How are you doing? Yeah. The truth is most people don't care when they ask that question. Because if I tell you how I'm really doing, now you don't want to talk to me.
Right. Because now I done dumped it and you're like, I was not expecting. I just wanted you to say you're fine. And I think that that's the thing too. A lot of us don't realize what is a safe place to talk, right? And it not be thrown back in your face, or you not judge me, or you not look upside my head. Like, what do you mean that you used to cuss your kids out? You know what I'm saying? Or what do you mean I woke up this morning and and I think that we all need to realize we all have those spaces. It's not to say that we stay in those places, but we've all had a moment that we were not happy about, or like looking back is like, who was that? Right? But we've got to be honest with ourselves. Yeah.
So you're on this journey. What leads you to start beyond bedside nursing?
Oh my God.
That's not a traditional nursing role. And I was looking at your TikToks. I was like, I love this. I'm going to visit her place. Sit in a massage chair.
Yes. It came with like when God is talking to you, you ignore it. Like, oh, that's a good idea. Like, that's great. Someone should do that. Yeah. But I went to an event with Dr. Smith. And this girl walks up and she says, what do you do? And I said, I'm a registered nurse. And immediately she is like giving me play for play on how to start an IV infusion company. Oh. And then I told her, I said, you know, it's so wild because for the last year I have been seeing these things, but I've just been ignoring it because my husband's in business full time. We have a clothing t-shirt printing company where we're trying to build. And what do you mean God is calling me to do something else? Like, I've got 3 children. Like, I don't have time, you know? And what I've realized is that God doesn't ask you what you have at all. He doesn't care what you think.
Just do it.
Just do it. And it'll make sense as you go. And what I've realized is I've always been a space where people naturally gravitate to talking to me about things, whether I want to hear it or not, right?
Same.
And and with being ordained as a minister and a registered nurse and having all the things that I've went through, all of that works together for the greater good for God, right? And so when she's talking to me, I'm like, okay, I go home Say, God, if you want me to do this, I need a building. I need clients. I need money. I need a doctor because I have to practice under a doctor. And play for play, he showed me how to do it, right? And she actually, the same girl reached out to me and told me about a nurse in Dallas that's like, reach out to her. She'll probably, and I'm like, people gatekeep. Like, she don't know me.
Yeah.
That is not what happened. I reached out to her. She's a nurse at Parkland and Vibe Infusions, I believe is the name of her company.
Okay.
And yeah, she gave me exactly how to find a medical director, all the things. She wished me well with my business.
God.
She was like, this is God. Like, go for it. It's not going to be easy. All the encouragement, all the things. And I was like, okay. And I mean, step for step, even how to furnish my company. God gave me the names of people in my family that would furnish the things in my company.
Okay.
So he gave my mom's name, my aunt, and I mean, without hesitation. Even the lady, my mom's boss, my mom had told me, and I was thinking it, but I was like, I think that's kind of like drawing the line. Yeah. She's like, ask her. And I was like, okay. So I text her and she was like, absolutely. And she sent me, like she paid for a chair. Amen. Essentially. And you saw the chair.
Yes.
Okay.
You had two of them.
Okay. And double for your trouble. The Lord is gracious, right? If you are just obedient, right? And I'm not saying that it just took off overnight. I'm still building clients. I'm still building, right? I'm still building a platform, but it's at God's pace.
Yeah.
Right? And it's how he wants it to go. It's not how I want it to go. And I've got to learn how to I have been learning how to surrender that.
Yeah. I have so many questions. You're going to have to come back.
Okay.
Because also I want to, you left the church and God, and now it's like, thank you, God. How did you get back? If that's a whole story, we'll have to save it. But like, what's the quick version of that?
The quick version is I went my way, prodigal son. I went my way and lost everything. I had everything and lost everything. And God had to show me through humility and stripping me of everything, right? I didn't even have my mind. Girl, I was going crazy. Literally. Like, if I were to have talked to a doctor, they probably would have put me in a crazy hospital.
Yeah.
Right? And that's God's grace because I never checked into a mental place. But I was losing my mind with reality. Like, girl, I was moving to Florida. I was divorcing my husband. Like, I had a husband in Florida. Like, crazy.
Oh, you were going through psychosis.
Baby, I was nuts.
Wow.
And I remember being in my closet and I said, God, if you are real, I need you to show me something. And I felt the presence of the Lord in my closet, almost like his hug. And I remember being in like almost like a fetal position, crying, screaming, all the things. And I got up and I went on about my day. And later on that night, my brother-in-law invited me to church. And I still was ignoring it. And he was like, I'm telling you, you need to come to church. Rewind a little bit. Before meeting because we were at my husband's aunt's house for Christmas, I was just cussing my husband out, throwing hands, going off, right? So God's grace, he met me in that closet. He knew I was about to act a fool. And then he still invited me again through my brother-in-law to church.
Yeah.
And at the time I was in witchcraft. Oh yeah, we going to have to talk.
Yeah, you're going to have to come.
And so I was like real big on like signs and how nature and all the things were talking to me and the universe and all this stuff. So I saw like this black cat and I was like, oh, that's a sign. And I saw the moon and that's a sign. And God will meet you right where you're at.
Yeah, absolutely.
He sure will meet you in your foolishness. But come on to church, right? Whatever. You think those are signs? Okay, whatever.
I'll show you a sign.
Okay, right? And so I went to church.
Yeah.
And it was like the next morning, because I still in my heart was saying, I'm not going. I don't believe in women. I knew that his pastor, which is now my pastor, okay, shout out to Pastor Chicks, praise. But I knew she was a woman. I didn't believe in women pastors. I just came out of this holiness, Kojic, women don't preach. So why am I getting dressed, right? It wasn't me getting dressed. The Holy Spirit was getting me dressed.
Yeah.
So I'm getting dressed and I go and I'm sitting in the back of the church. And I even remember the dress that I was wearing was like a club dress, right? I had a little sweater over it. Like, no respect. Just
but you didn't know.
Showing up. No, I knew.
Well, come as you are.
Right. That's the part that I was running with.
Yeah.
But I definitely knew. Like, I definitely knew, but I was going to come as I was.
I'm going to tell you why you didn't know.
Yeah.
You knew from tradition.
Yes.
You didn't know from a heart posture.
There you go. That's it.
And so it was just like, whatever, I'll be fine. And yeah. That is truly what come as you are me. It's deeper than just what you got on.
Yes. Come on,
all the brokenness, all the mess in your head and in your heart, bring it here. Because he wants it.
He wants it. And let me tell you, I'm sitting in like the third to last row, I think, in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Christmas. Mind you, that morning I woke up and I kept hearing Christmas Miracle.
Yeah.
Now I know now that I'm a prophet, but I did not know through this journey that God dealt with me in those areas, right? And I kept hearing Christmas Miracle, Christmas Miracle. I did not know that the Christmas Miracle was me being invited to church, the whole service going, Christmas morning, everyone's ready to leave, go open their gifts, and my pastor calling me and saying, you don't know everything. Now, I prided myself in knowing everything. I had guidelines. I had things that I was going to get done. I was going to buy a house here. I was going to have my daughter. I was going to get married. All the things of my timeline, it went that way over the last few years, right? And she says to me, you don't know everything. And I'm looking at her like, this lady better not call me up. Don't touch me. Okay, I don't even know why I'm here. And she tells me to come up. And I'm like, she better not put her hand on me because I'm not laying out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing the most.
Yeah.
And my pastor lifted her hand like this and I was on the floor. She didn't even have to put her. The anointing was so strong.
Wow.
I'm on the ground and it's like, finally, like the Lord is like, finally, right? You asked me to show you something and here it is.
There's your sign.
So I'm on the ground. She's praying over me. She's called a few people up. Dr. Smith, I believe, was one. And the elders and a few other people. They're praying for me. And I remember speaking in tongues. It was my first time speaking in tongues. I've always been gifted. I just did not. You know, when they say that, the word of God tells you the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And that's exactly what he was trying to do. Yeah. Right. And so I laid there and God did open heart surgery. Ooh. I mean, I got up and I was running for God ever since.
Wow.
I never turned back. Everything. And the night before I was drinking, I was smoking, I was cussing folks out, I was doing all the things. Now, I'm not going to say I have not had a time or two that I had used some words that I was not proud of. But actively practicing sin?
Yeah. No more.
No more. It was gone.
Tiara. Tiara. Okay. Last question. What's one thing you want people to remember from this conversation?
And God's not done.
Hello.
That's it. God is not done. I don't care where you're at. Yeah. Even if right now, like you're like me, right? You've surrendered your life. Life is good. Yeah. Like you have your tests, you have your trials, but God is still not done. Or if you're in that broken space where you're like, I don't believe in God, God is not done. Or if you're in that middle space where you're just like, God is not done. Wherever you are at, if you are still breathing, God is not done.
Amen. I love that so much. You're so beautiful. Your story was so amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I'm serious. You're going to have to come back.
I'll come back.
A lot, girl.
I know.
The faith. We didn't talk about the faith part, but okay, we're going to have to get back to that.
Yeah.
But okay, thank you. That concludes this episode, guys. As always, control the controllables and be the best version of you can be every day. Until next time. Bye.